Pet&Fish Knowledge Channel. Taxonomy. Discus are fish from the genus Symphysidon, which currently includes the species S. fasciatus, S. discus and S. tarzu, based on a taxonomic review published in 2006. 7-9, a review published in 2007 largely came to the same result, but differed in nomenclature, as the species called S. tarzu in the 2006 study was called S. fasciatus in the 2007 study, and S. fasciatus in 2006 was S. heraldi in 2007. 10-11, further arguments have been made that S. tarzu was not described in accordance with ICZN rules and thus should be considered invalid and replaced with S. heraldi. 12, currently considered a synonym of S. fasciatus by fish base. Other subspecies have been proposed, but morphometric data, unlike Enterophyllum, the freshwater angelfish, varies as much between individuals from one location as across the whole range of all discus fish species. Citation needed. S. tarzu was described in 1959 and applies to the red-spotted western population. S. fasciatus and S. discus, meanwhile, seem to hybridize frequently in the wild or have diverged recently, as they lack mitochondrial DNA lineage sorting but differ in color pattern and have dissimilar chromosomal translocation patterns. S. discus occurs mainly in the Rio Negro. Whether S. heraldi is indeed distinct from S. fasciatus remains to be determined. If valid, it is widespread, but it might just be a color morph. Citation needed. 2 captive variants, orange and solid turquoise. A molecular study in 2011 found 5 main groups, which generally matched previously recognized phenotypes. They recognize them as evolutionarily significant units and species. Their assigning of scientific names to species differed to some extent from that used by earlier authors: Haeckel, S. discus, Rio Negro, Upperadima, Nhamunda, Trombetas and Abacoxis, Green, S. tarzu, West Amazon drainages upriver from the Purus Arch, Blue, S. sp. 1. Central Amazon from Purus Arch to the meeting of waters, Brown, S. fasciatus, East Amazon downriver from meeting of waters, Xingu group, S. sp. 2, Xingu and Tocantins. The Xingu group currently lacks a scientific name, but it is possible that the correct name for the blue is S. heraldi. This taxonomy with 4 described valid species, S. discus, S. tarzu, S. heraldi and S. fasciatus, has been adopted by the Catalogue of Fishes. Some hybridization occurs, or has occurred, between the brown discus and neighboring forms, but overall they maintain their separate evolutionary trajectories. Behavior. Symphysidon are highly social, typically occurring in groups that may number many dozens of individuals, which is unique among cichlids of the Americas. 17. When breeding, the pair moves away from the group, possibly to reduce the risk of cannibalism of the young. As for most cichlids, brood care is highly developed with both the parents caring for the young. Additionally, adult discus produce a secretion through their skin, which the larvae live off during their first 4 weeks. During the first 2 weeks, the parents stay near their young, allowing them to feed easily. In the last 2 they swim away, resulting in the young being gradually weaned off and starting to fend for themselves. Although rare in fish, more than 30 species of cichlids are known to feed their young with skin secretion to various extent, including Psittatroplus and R species. Sexual maturity is reached in 1 year. Symphysidon primarily feed on algae, other plant material and detritus, periphyton, but also eat small invertebrates. Invertebrates can make up 38% of the stomach content in wild S. fasciatus during the high water season, but this decreases during the low water season and year-round it is generally lower in the other species. Unlike more predatory cichlids, Symphysidon have relatively long intestines typical of a herbivore or omnivore. Distribution and habitat. Symphysidon species inhabit the margins of floodplain lakes and rivers in the lowland Amazon basin, where it is part of the highly diverse neotropical fish fauna. S. discus is restricted to blackwater habitats, but periodically these may experience brief floods of white water. S. tarzu is found in both black and white water, and S. fasciatus also occurs in clear water. Because of their preference for lentic habitats such as floodplains and flooded forests, white water inhabited by discus contain little suspended material, unlike main sections of whitewater rivers. The three species of Symphysidon have different geographic distributions. S. fasciatus occurs in the East Amazon downriver from the Purus Arch and S. tarzu in the West Amazon upriver from the Purus Arch. In contrast, the distribution of S. discus appears to be limited to the lower reaches of the Rio Negro, Upper Adama, Nhamunda, Trombetas, and Abacaxis rivers.